Hey everyone, welcome back to 5 Obscure. Today, we're taking a trip to the land of Kiwis. No, not the fruit, though those are pretty great too. I'm talking about New Zealand. You know, that gorgeous country with the breathtaking landscapes that always seem to end up in movies? Yeah, that one. New Zealand, also called the land of the long white cloud, is often misunderstood because, well, it's kind of out there, all by itself in the Pacific Ocean. I mean, have you ever tried to find it on a globe? It takes some serious searching, and because it's so geographically isolated, a lot of funny but totally wrong ideas about the country have popped up over the years, often fueled by pop culture and, let's be honest, a little bit of exaggeration. So, buckle up because we're about to debunk the top 5 misconceptions about New Zealand. Get ready for some laughs, some surprises, and maybe even a sheep or two. Or maybe not. Stick around, it's going to be fun! Misconception 1. Okay, let's start with a classic, the age-old question. Is New Zealand just Australia's little sibling? You know, like that one friend who always gets them mixed up? Picture this. You're at a party, and someone asks where you're from. You say New Zealand, and they go, "Oh, Australia! It happens more often than you think." Now, I hate to break it to you, but New Zealand and Australia are about as similar as apples and oranges. Both delicious in their own way, but definitely not the same thing. New Zealand is a completely independent country, with its own distinct culture, history, and identity. Think of it this way. If Australia is the cool older sibling who's always up for an adventure, New Zealand is the more laid-back, artistic one who loves nature and a good cup of tea. And just to set the record straight, New Zealand is over 2,000 kilometers, that's like 1,200 miles for my American friends, away from Australia. That's like saying Los Angeles is the same as New York City, just a hop, skip, and a jump away. So next time someone tries to tell you New Zealand is part of Australia, you can politely correct them and maybe even drop some knowledge about the fact that Kiwis are much better at sports. Misconception 2. All right, let's talk sheep, or more specifically, the idea that everyone in New Zealand is a sheep farmer. Yes, New Zealand has a lot of sheep, like a lot. But here's the thing, not everyone in New Zealand is wandering around in gumboots, herding sheep all day long. Think about it. If everyone was a sheep farmer, who would be making those delicious flat whites? Who would be teaching the next generation of Kiwis? And who would be creating those incredible movies and TV shows that everyone loves? The truth is, New Zealand has a diverse economy with people working in all sorts of industries. You've got your tech gurus, your artists, your teachers, your doctors, your baristas, you name it, New Zealand's got it. In fact, most Kiwis actually live in cities and towns, just like people in many other developed countries. They're more likely to be found sipping lattes in trendy cafes or catching a rugby game than chasing sheep through fields. So, while sheep farming is definitely an important part of New Zealand's history and economy, it's not the only game in town. Kiwis are a multi-talented bunch, and their skills extend far beyond shearing sheep, though I'm sure they're pretty good at that too. Misconception 3. Land of the long white cloud and sunshine. Now let's talk weather, shall we? New Zealand often gets painted as this perpetually cold and rainy place, where you need a raincoat and an umbrella just to step outside. And while it's true that New Zealand does get its fair share of rain, hey, all that green grass has to come from somewhere. It's not always gloomy and gray. In fact, New Zealand has a surprisingly diverse climate. The North Island, where you'll find cities like Auckland and Wellington, enjoys warm, humid summers and mild winters. Think California, but with more ram raids. The South Island, home to the Southern Alps and stunning Fiordland National Park, has a wider range of temperatures with snowy mountains, sunny beaches, and everything in between. So, yes, you might encounter a bit of rain in New Zealand, but you're also likely to experience plenty of sunshine, especially if you visit during the summer months. Just pack for all types of weather, and you'll be good to go. Misconception 4. A melting pot of cultures. Time to debunk another myth. Some folks seem to think that New Zealand is like a little slice of Britain, with everyone sipping tea and speaking in British accents. While it's true that New Zealand has British roots, its cultural landscape is far more diverse than that. Over the centuries, New Zealand has become a melting pot of cultures, with people from all corners of the globe calling it home. You've got the indigenous Māori people, whose history and traditions are deeply intertwined with the land. You've got Pacific Islanders, who bring their own unique customs and flavors to the mix. And you've got people from Asia, Europe, and beyond, all contributing to the rich tapestry of New Zealand society. This multiculturalism is reflected in everything from the food to the music to the art. Walking down the street in Auckland or Wellington is like taking a trip around the world, with different languages, cuisines, and styles all around you. So, while you might hear a British accent or two in New Zealand, they will probably be tourists. New Zealand's English is considered a bit lazy, and Kiwis are known for speaking faster than other English-speaking cultures. New Zealand's cultural diversity is one of its greatest strengths, and it's something Kiwis are incredibly proud of, even their strange accents. Misconception 5. Hobbits. Not so much. Okay, let's address the elephant, or should I say, the Hobbit, in the room. Thanks to the epic Lord of the Rings and Hobbit movies, New Zealand has become synonymous with Middle-earth in the minds of many. And while it's true that those movies were filmed in some of New Zealand's most breathtaking locations, seriously, the scenery is like something out of a fairy tale, you won't actually find any hobbits hiding out in the Shire. Now, I know, it's a bummer. Believe me, I've looked everywhere. But alas, hobbits, elves, and wizards remain the stuff of fantasy. However, you can still visit many of the filming locations from the movies, which have become popular tourist destinations. Imagine yourself standing on the rolling hills of Hobbiton, where Bilbo Baggins once lived, or trekking through the misty forests of Rivendell. It's like stepping right into the movies, minus the orcs and giant spiders, of course. So while you might not encounter any hobbits on your trip to New Zealand, you can still experience the magic of Middle-earth firsthand. Just don't forget your second breakfast. Thanks for coming along. So there you have it, 5 common misconceptions about New Zealand, debunked. Hopefully, you learned a thing or two about this amazing country, and maybe even had a few laughs along the way. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more fun facts and travel adventures. And be sure to let me know in the comments below. What are some other misconceptions you've heard about New Zealand or other places around the world? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Until next time, keep exploring and stay curious.